that it's important to learn a lot of sales closes. One size does not fit all, any more than you can use a hammer to drive a screw or use a screwdriver to cut a board. You must have different tools in your tool belt. And I teach over 20 closes. I'll give you 3 sample closes right now. I told you we're moving pretty quickly today. 3 sample closes. You may recognize the close but not recognize the name. You may recognize the name. The first one's called the ABC close. A lot of people call this always be closing. I call it always be curious. When you're always showing interest in your prospect, always asking, tell me more about this. Yes, that's interesting. Tell me more. That's interesting. I'd love to hear more about this. What's your best-selling product? What's the product you're having trouble selling? What are you struggling with the most? When you ask questions all the time, you're more likely to get more intel, right? So you want to always ask one more question, always be curious. The second closing technique I want to share with you is called the half Nelson. Some of you that wrestled in high school might remember the half Nelson. It's a play on what we used to learn in trigonometry class in high school. It's called the if-then proposition. And it goes something like this. Mr. Prospect, thank you for your inquiry about our inventory. Tell me, if I can find the product in beige, would you be willing to place an order today? The reason I ask is I might have to do some somersaults to get the product to you, but I'd like to know what I'm in for. If we have the product in beige, then would you be willing to place an order? So it's called the if-then or the half Nelson. If we were live and I had somebody here with me, I'd show you a half Nelson. Now that would be an interesting webinar, wouldn't it? From the old wrestling days. The third selling close that I want to teach you today is called the sharp angle close. And it's effective because most people don't make decisions based on money. They don't make decisions using the left half of the brain. They make decisions using the right half of the brain. The left side of the brain is linear, rationally based, concerned with numbers. The right side of the brain is, how does this feel to me? Do I trust the salesperson? You know, does this feel good, right? A lot of people, even in the financial services sector, make decisions with the right half of their brain. And so when you say something like this, look, why don't you just give us a try? That's called the right angle. Some people call it the sharp angle. Some people call it the porcupine close because it has nothing to do with your linear presentation. It just says, hey, look, you've got all the information you need to make a good decision. Why don't you give us a try? And amazingly, even though they're not completely convinced that they should go with you, they say, okay, I'll give it a try. Because you seem like, I don't know, you seem like a reasonable person, right? So the sharp angle close, the ABC, always be curious close, and of course the half Nelson, very, very good techniques for you to use.